What's going on, Gemini? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the month of April 2024. So in this reading, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy, some things you don't see coming, and we're also going to get some advice for you from your angels and spirit guides and so much more regarding April 2024 Gemini. So I'm going to pull the energy for you, and we will see what is coming your way for the month of April Gemini. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this active divination for the sign of Gemini. Wow. Haha. Man. All right. Wow. Wow. All right, Gemini. So, definitely an overwhelmingly positive month for you, I feel, in general. Overwhelmingly positive is what I feel. But before we get into the tarot, let's go ahead and start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards. And these oracle cards contain the themes that you're going to be dealing with over the month of April. And I'm just going to show you them successively. The first one you have is Chiron, who is the wounded healer, and it has to do with inner healing. And Chiron has to do with your deepest wound. It's the part of you that you want to scratch on your back, but you can't reach it. Chiron is like the shoemaker's shoe. It's the part of you who you can help other people heal, but it's very difficult for you to help yourself heal this part of you. So it's like the shoemaker's shoe. Like you walk into a shoe shop and this guy is shining shoes, and you're like, wow, like these shoes that you're doing for people are amazing. You must have some amazing shoes. And then you look at their feet and they're wearing like bare feet, or their shoes are all messed up, and you're like, why don't you treat your shoes so great if you make everyone else's shoes amazing? And he's just like, I don't know, never occurred to me. So there's definitely something to do with Chiron, your biggest wound. Then you have Lilith, which has to do with wild femininity. And the mythology of Lilith is that she was Adam's first wife, and she got cast out of the Garden of Eden because she refused to submit to him in a traditional gender role way. So there could be something to do with Lilith. Also represents your dark side. It represents the shadow part of you. So with Lilith and Chiron, there is definitely some dark wounding coming up for you to look at. Now, you also have Leo, the extrovert. Okay, and Leo is all about creative energy. It's kind of like the adolescent years. And so it's all about fun, extroversion, and warmth. And so there could be this theme of you healing your deepest wound in an extroverted way through a relationship with someone. And I definitely see a very positive relationship coming in for you that is going to restore balance and justice into your life if you can play your cards right. This is going to be one of the most beneficial months for you in a long time, but it will seem scary. And that's what the Lilith, the Lilith side of us is the part of us that we don't usually want to look at. But because all of us, if you're watching this channel, you probably are a very self-aware person. It's very important for you to tune into what is your dark side. You know what I mean? For me, for example, my Lilith is in Virgo. And so part of my dark side is that I can be overly critical, and I can like wash my hands like 20 times throughout the day, because like Virgo has to do with cleanliness. And my dark side in Lilith, in Virgo, is like everything has to be clean, everything has to be perfect, everything has to be Virgo. So I would advise you to look into your birth chart if you want to figure out where Lilith is deposited in your chart. It may be very important for you. So for some of you, you're actually going to finally, show the world. There's going to be a relationship that is accepting of your deepest wound, and it is and allows you to release your wild femininity into the world. Now, if you're a man, if you're more of a masculine Gemini watching this reading, and you're straight, there could be a woman coming in for you that has wild femininity that you're going to have to be dealing with, that could trigger your wound as a man. But it doesn't really matter about gender. It's all about energy in this reading. And so with Chiron and Lilith, there's definitely something about wounding and a dark side and wild femininity coming up. Some of you, but it's definitely extroverted with Leo. So let's just go ahead and get into the reading. Now, your opportunity is the Justice card. And I just did a reading for Aquarius, and a lot of the other water sign readings I did, everyone is getting the Justice card in their opportunity. And so, especially with Mercury being retrograde right now and all the craziness happening in April astrologically, you want to be very careful that you don't do anything against the law. But this is also against spiritual law. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But for many of you, it doesn't have to do with that. This Justice card and your opportunity is for you to cash in on good karma, especially in the terms of a wish fulfillment relationship coming in for you. It's very much strongly in your energy field. I'm just going to skip around to your overall general energy to show you, Gemini. In your overall general energy, you have the 10 of Cups, the 2 of Cups, and the Hanged Man. We're going to have to clarify, but this is a very positive energy. For many of you, the 10 of Cups has to do with your happily ever after wish fulfillment frequency. The 2 of Cups has to do with a soulmate or a very key relationship. And the Hanged Man has to do with a temporary enlightenment and a complete shift in perspective and a surrender, but it's almost like a conscious surrender. This person is hanging from a rope, but they're not struggling. They're like, I am realizing why I'm here right now. So for many of you, there's going to be a relationship that's coming in that you're going to surrender to that will feel potentially fated for some of you. Many of you, it will feel like it's restoring justice into your life. Now, for many of you ladies out there, this could have to do with you meeting someone who's going to value your Chiron and your Lilith. So you could have whatever your wounding is around wild femininity. There could be someone who accepts you for that, Gemini, especially for the ladies out there, but even for the men, it could be you accepting something like with Chiron and Lilith here, and then Leo, the extrovert. I see there being a lot of deep, dark healing going on in an extroverted way in a relationship for you. But the Justice card is your opportunity, so you need to be aware that there could be something here that's advising you to do things a little bit by the book. Try not to break any laws, especially for April. It might not be a good time to completely change course out of nowhere with Mercury being retrograde right now. So for many of you, this will be an existing situation that just comes together. For some of you, though, this will be a new person. But it seems very good. Like, I will say, your overall general energy is, if I saw this in a reading for myself, I would say it's going to be a very good month. But it's like a lot of healing integration. Now, Lilith also has to do with your own version of wild sexuality or sensuality as well. And Chiron has to do with the healing. So maybe there's some sort of healing going on with that aspect of your life. Now, interestingly enough, the sun is in your challenge. And the sun in your challenge isn't the worst thing, I would say. There could be something here with the Justice card being in your opportunity and the sun in your challenge here that, you are getting, there's an opportunity to cash in on good karma, but it might feel like, it might feel like it's a lot, or it might feel like there's a lack of clarity, the sun in your challenge. Now, it's interesting to me that Leo is the card that is the sign, the zodiac sign that is ruled by the sun, and it's a theme for you, and it's in your challenge. So for many of you, when it comes to your Lilith, your wild femininity, and then when it comes to your deepest wound, I feel that it's going to be exposed, because the sun has to do with exposure. Everything is in the light of day. And with it being in your challenge and the justice card being in your opportunity, I really feel like you're going to enter into authentic relationship with someone rather than just trying to put on a front to get someone to go out on a date, putting on a front to enter into business with someone. There's something about authentic healing coming in for you. But you could feel like it's going to require you to expose yourself in order to, because there's definitely something here about unconditional love coming in for you as well. So it might be a stretch for you to extrovert this energy. The Chiron and Lilith is generally something that goes on within us. It is shown in the outside world through our behavior, but there's something here where it's like your wounding and your dark side is going to be brought into the light with the Sun card in your challenge, okay? And with the Justice card being here in your opportunity, I feel like it's going to be a positive thing overall, especially with this really good overall general energy. But it might be a shock to your routine or to the way that you relate to others or the way that you're used to. And in what you don't see coming, once again, very good energy. You have the Six of Wands, which has to do with public victory, or has to do with the frequency of being like a champion, or manifesting what you want and getting attention for it. You have the Seven of Pentacles, which has to do with gratitude, and it has to do with someone who is enjoying the fruits of their labor. This person was like in a field, and all of their pentacles are starting to come to fruition for them to enjoy the fruits of their labor. And that's very synonymous to me with the Justice card being in your opportunity. And then you have the Queen of Cups, which is the Queen of Love. She is like the mother. She's the unconditional lover. And it's someone who really has unconditional love for you that I feel like you're going to actually be surrendering to here, Gemini. But you're going to be surrendering to a love that is going to require you to also unconditionally love yourself, which may be a stretch for many of you. And this could be something that many of you knew was going to happen in this lifetime. Look, many astrologers have been talking about April 2024 for like years. So this is a very key month for all of us, but for you with all this overwhelming positivity coming out, I feel like it's just more of a stretch. It's not something that is going to break you. It's not something that is going to cause you to injure yourself, to stretch, to show your wound, to be in your dark side in an extroverted way with someone. It doesn't mean that it has to be public for everyone to see, but I'm getting it in the confines of a relationship coming in for you. You can let it all hang out. You can really find someone who is genuinely compatible with you when it comes to your dark sides or your healer. Now, the thing about Chiron as well is that Chiron is like, it does deal with the theme of the half man, half horse. So it could have to do with feelings of like rejection and abandonment and healing that. Chiron is also the rogue and the outsider and like the outlaw. And with the Justice card being here in your opportunity, that is the story of Chiron, is that Chiron was outcast and like basically labeled as like as bad or like as incapable of living in society. But then Chiron worked on himself and ended up being one of the greatest mentors and healers ever. So I feel like there's something here that maybe is coming up for you to really live in your authentic truth. When we look at Chiron and we look at Lilith, they're both rebellious energy. So maybe there's an opportunity for you to justly integrate your dark side and your deepest wound within the confines of a relationship that has unconditional love, is what I really feel. Take it as it resonates, leave it as it doesn't. But when it comes to your advice from Spirit, Spirit is definitely telling you that it's going to be very spiritually intense. You have the Tower, you have the High Priestess, and you have the Two of Wands here. The Tower has to do with a foundation being blown up in your life, and it has to do with a moment of awakening, but it's kind of like the advice is to allow a shock. It's the shock of the new. And it's something, the Tower represents a structure, a way of being that has been very solid in your life that the lightning bolt is hitting. It may have to do with that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that we have around the 20th of April. So, it's because whenever Jupiter and Uranus come together, we see things like earthquakes, we see things like crazy technological power outages. So there could be something shocking that Spirit's trying to warn you about, that your intuition is trying to tell you. You also have the High Priestess here, which is all about the occult, intuition. She's the prophet. She's the mystic. And it's a very mysterious energy. So there could be something like a foundation of your life being blown up in a very mysterious way. But Spirit is advising you to know that it's happening for a divine spiritual reason. There's nothing that's like giving me a red flag energy. Now you do have the Two of Wands here. And so it's like whatever happens during April 2024, it may not be a good idea to make long-term decisions based on this Chiron Lilith Leo. You know, I really feel like that the Two of Pentacles is like you're at a fork in the road. You can either go left or you can go right, but your path will always forever be altered. The Two of Wands also has to do with a choice in love. The wand behind this person is securely fastened to the wall, and it represents a safe option. But then this person has a riskier option in front of them, and they're holding the world in the palm of their hands. So it may be a month where something happens to you on a relational level that allows you to heal, to look at your dark side in an extroverted way, but it's not something that maybe should be completely solidified, because because this being in your advice is that you still need to weigh up your options. No matter what falls apart or no matter what is happening, there's not really an energy of commitment in your advice. We're going to clarify to see, but in your advice, the Tower, High Priestess, Two of Pentacles, this energy is much, the number 2 has to do with feminine energy, the Two of Wands. The High Priestess is the second card in the major arcana. So this is 2 + 2 = 4. So and it's interesting that Lilith energy would be here as well. So there's definitely something about trusting the wisdom of the feminine energy and maybe not jumping to any sort of conclusions, even if you want to this month, especially when it comes to new relationships. That might be really challenging for you to hear, but whenever Mercury is retrograde, it might not be the best time for you to make long-term decisions. But it might be a time where things are definitely getting shaken up in a good way. I feel like this is your wish fulfillment coming to you through a person, and it's going to be something that maybe leads to enlightenment for you or changes you forever. In your overall general energy, the Hanged Man being right next to the 10 of Cups and the 2 of Cups, this is like synonymous with a good Tower moment. The Tower being in your advice and then the Hanged Man being here, whatever is happening to you that feels like scary or it feels like a shock, I feel like it could actually alter your way of living forever. And it could have to do with a positive experience that you have with someone, Leo, extroverted, that makes you rethink all of your relationships. And it could have to do with like, Lilith has to do with the idea of submission. Like Lilith will not ever stop. Like the energy of Lilith is like the person who has been abducted by a foreign enemy and they're in the torture chair and they're trying to get Lilith to give up the information on like their friend, and like Lilith will take any form of torture and they will not submit. The energy of Lilith is not submitting to anything. And I feel like it's more so the relational patterns in your life. You may be really confronted with your deepest wound about not really being your true authentic self that doesn't submit to things that are not worthy of you, especially in the Leo, the extroverted way. So this can really be a time where your own soul's medicine comes on board, but it may not look like what you think. Look, I know a lot of, when we talk about the spiritual path, we think it's lollipops or rainbows. It's not that. I'm jealous of the people who don't have a spiritual awakening because they say ignorance is bliss. Once you open the Pandora's box of self-awareness, which I'm sure all of you have if you're on this channel, you can't close it. You cannot close it unless you have to self-medicate and be on Xannies 24/7. You cannot undo spiritual awakening. And there is clearly a whole new level that your spiritual life is taking, but it obviously is going to become in the form of relationship and your biggest wound and Lilith energy. So it's intense here, Gemini. So wow, let's go ahead and get into this reading though and start clarifying what it's about. I actually never do this, but I'm just going to try something different. Let's clarify the Lilith card. I'm just going to clarify, why is the Lilith wild femininity? Why is this the theme for you? What does this theme have to do with? Why is Lilith here in the theme for you? Lilith is clarified by the sun, the chariot, and the star. Wow. wow. So there's a lot of healing, freedom of movement, and clarity coming into your life when it comes to your own dark side. And, you have to, we're not just light workers. If you don't want to deal with the shadow, you can't deal with the light. So there's something about you really looking at your own dark side and offering it love, and maybe seeing how can I integrate this in a conscious way, because the sun is your challenge. Lilith is clarified by the sun, and it's really all about making the dark unconscious conscious, because when you do that, it changes your life forever. And you can move in a way that doesn't hurt people with your dark side, and you can play with your dark side rather than actually using it to hurt people. This could be about a relationship coming in for you that people will be compatible with your dark side. So like, for example, like let's say like you're someone with like Lilith in Scorpio. If your Lilith is in Scorpio, you better have a partner who can handle some crazy things that you want to do with them when it's just you and them. They better be on board with the craziest stuff, because if they're like an earth angel and maybe their Lilith is in Virgo, they're going to be like, this is abuse. But if you're with a different person who can accept your Lilith energy, they're going to be like, this is heaven. So it's almost like something that took you to hell is now introducing you to heaven when it comes to your dark side. I feel like it's going to have to do with a relationship that is you're going to be like, how does this person exist? Or how did I operate through life without this person existing before? Now, for some of you, if you have a strong existing relationship, there's going to be changes to the existing relationship. But for those of you that are honest with yourself, you're not in a serious thing, maybe you're talking to this person, that person, whatever, I feel like it's new energy coming in for you, okay? So let's just clarify why the Justice card is in your opportunity. Why is the Justice card in your opportunity? I felt like it was something to do with good karma. Yeah, you have the Queen of Cups and the Tower. The Justice card is clarified by the Queen of Cups and the Tower. The Queen of Cups is in what you don't see coming. The Tower is in your advice. So this is definitely a moment where love changes for you. It's an opportunity to bring justice to a foundational change to your love life. And for a lot of you, if this doesn't have to do with another person, this is going to be you changing the relationship with yourself. And I feel for some of you, there's going to be a person coming in that will help you change the relationship with yourself. You could have a Chiron Lilith aspect that you have always judged yourself for. You always felt guilt for, I must not be that spiritual. No, you just haven't met the right person who is in alignment with you. And so I feel like the way your love language and the way in which you approach unconditional love is changing here as a result of meeting the right person. Because look, if you're a man and you marry the wrong woman, for you, it's not that the woman is good or bad. It's not that you're good or bad. It's how your energies come together. If you're a man and you marry the wrong woman, you can turn into a child beater. You can turn into a literal devil simply because your energy is not compatible. It would have never worked, but you're trying to force it your whole life or something like that. And we've all been there to a certain degree. But if you had linked up with someone who loved your dark side and it was healing energy, it was compatible for them, you could be the next freaking whoever the best person is you could be the next nominee of world peace amazingness, okay? So I feel like there's a big change to your love life that may lead to you being like, oh my God, how have I not seen this before? How have I spent my whole life judging myself? How have I not found this person yet? How? But it's extrovert, it's Leo, so it's not just going to be in your consciousness. You also have, as I'm saying that, damn it, you also have the Two of Pentacles here. So this could be something that you've been questioning. Oh my God, this Lilith Chiron, I don't know if I'm good or bad. Like, what does this mean for my whole life? Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like all that type of stuff here. So, all right. Now what we're going to do is we are going to clarify the Two of Cups. I want to get information about this Two of Cups in your overall general energy. Why is the Two of Cups here? A lot of shocking downloads about your life are going to be coming to you. The Two of Cups is clarified by the Justice card. I'm telling you right now, there is someone coming in for you, and it could be an existing relationship. You could know about this person. It doesn't have to be completely brand new, but for some of you it could be, but especially if you're single. But this is poetic justice, emotional justice, relational justice here. You know, this is also about good karma. So for many of you, this is going to be a pre-birth agreement. The Justice card is a major arcana card clarifying the Two of Cups, which would bring a spiritual element to the meeting of you and this person. This is not just a physical bond. Physical bonds are common, but spiritual bonds are more rare. So there's definitely a spiritual energy linking you to this person. Let's clarify the Hanged Man in your overall general energy as well. Why is the Hanged Man here? So far, the Hanged Man is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, this reading is just literally pretty amazing so far. Why is the Hanged Man here for Gemini? There we go. What the heck? The Hanged Man is clarified by the Two of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, but you also do have the Knight of Wands in reverse here. But look, the first card that came out is the Ten of Pentacles, and I feel like you're surrendering to a new legacy, but I feel like the legacy is going to be linked to another person. There could be someone who, once again, if you're not with them for the rest of your life, this could be someone who comes in and changes your mind. The Hanged Man is all about a shift in perspective, surrendering to a different perspective. So whoever's coming in for you may be someone who treats you right or who gives you a perspective that you didn't have before. Now, you do have the Hanged Man clarified by the Knight of Wands in reverse. And the Knight of Wands in reverse is someone who's like excited, but they're not really able to back up their talk. They could be someone who just kind of like talks a big game but doesn't back it up. It's very youthful, exciting energy. So, you know, I would say be careful with this to not like overly commit to a situation potentially for some of you. For some of you, this is going to be about, you're going to realize someone that you thought was going to be in your legacy is not going to be anymore because of some sort of new awareness that you have. Could be to do with meeting a new person. Let's clarify why the Six of Wands is here. You know, why is there victor in what you don't see coming? There's a big win for you that's going to feel good and it's going to feel like it's full of love. So why is the Six of Wands in what you don't see coming? What is this victory about for you? What is this like good attention? And the number 6 also has to do with harmony. Speaking of that, the cards, the Six of Wands is clarified by the Ace of Cups and the Six of Pentacles here. The Six of Pentacles is literally all about harmony and even give and take. It's all about gift giving. And the Ace of Cups has to do with a positive new emotional experience. And then you have the King of Wands, which is very synonymous with that combination of Lilith and Leo. If you wanted to look at what is the King of Wands really, probably would be a good combination of Lilith, Leo, and maybe a little bit of Chiron energy as well. So wow, I mean, the Six of Wands here, for some of you, this is going to be you finally having business success, but I feel like it's more of an emotional thing. It could be, I feel like it's more of a relational thing, one-to-one level, or even a group, but I feel for many of you, there's authentic balance and a new beginning that's actually real. You know what I mean? And this isn't what you don't see coming. So this could start off with you questioning the potential. And in your overall general energy, you have the Hanged Man with the Knight of Wands in reverse, the Ten of Pentacles. So you could have like felt like you met the right person, but like maybe it's too unreliable, and maybe that's just your shadow of the Lilith Chiron, like this is too crazy. But in what you don't see coming, the King of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups, wow, there's authentic new love and balance coming into your life in what you don't see coming. You also have the Queen of Cups here. You also have the Chariot and the World sneaking out for a peek. So once again, I literally have yet to pull anything that is like a red flag for me besides that Knight of Wands in reverse. Let's clarify what the Sun is here in your challenge. Why is the Sun